Hello, everybody. I hope I'm audible. If I'm audible, please type in the comments. All right, let's get started. Welcome to today's live. Um, like I said, this is a community that I'm launching. It's called the Innovative Room, and basically, here we're going to be sharing and talking about opportunities, different opportunities that are coming to Africa, Southern Africa, and Botswana. And today we're going to be focused on Botswana specifically. Um, just to give you a brief face into the landscape of Botswana. Botswana is entering into a season of economic diversification. As we all know, the diamonds are now unstable. There's been a crisis in the diamond due to the disruption of the lab-grown diamonds. So we have seen a decline in diamond revenue as the country, and we all know that diamond was one commodity or one um, mineral that was contributing largely to the GDP of the country of our country, Botswana. So um, now Botswana is trying to diversify. Like I said, Botswana is trying to diversify and to look into other sectors. What can other sectors bring for it? What can come out from other sectors, right? So here, Center has just released. I think it should be this year. Has released documents which are called um, which are more like, how can I what can I call them? They are called investor fact sheets. This is one of the documents that we'll be going through today. They're called investor fact sheets, where they quantify or they are trying to show investors why they have to invest in Botswana. So they quantify every single thing, the risks that have to that come with doing business in Botswana? What are the opportunities that come with setting up business in Botswana, investing in Botswana? Basically, they are trying to increase or boost investor confidence in Botswana. Like I said in one of my videos, uh, the large game that is being played here by our government right now, is to position Botswana as a hub for economic activity and business, is to position Botswana as a hub for economic activity and business and attract foreign direct investment. Somebody may say, but why should we attract foreign direct investment? When we attract foreign direct investment, and we inviting troubles, you know, illegal activities happening, all those different things. And while that is valid and while that's understood, um, I I explained in one of my posts that you can invite these people and then create the terms and create the policies that ensure that these people come properly into the Botswana, invest in Botswana, and benefit the people of Botswana, right? So every single thing that is happening right now, all the different changes that the government is implementing, that different entities of the government is implementing or is doing, have one thing uh, in go, right? Have one thing in go. They want to attract foreign direct investment into the country, which is why BITC has released this series of documents. A lot of these documents, if you want to see them for yourself, you can go over to the BITC website for yourself and read them for yourselves. But then, why do we need to go over them together on this platform? Is we're not just going to read them, but we're going to read and break them down and try and understand what does this really mean for me as a Motswana. What does this really mean, and what does it really mean for a common person? Because, like I said, this is an investor fact sheet, so it is primarily meant for an investor. But from that document, as a normal Motswana who may not be an investor, the activities of the investors come into the country and then they invest in these different sectors. They're going to open up businesses, right? And those businesses are going to affect you as a Motswana. They're going to affect people in Southern Africa. So it means that now we have to break down what are the ecosystems that are going to be created from the business activity that is going to be happening due to these investors coming into the country. Also, even Botswana themselves investing into these sectors and ensuring that businesses are set in these sectors. Even in these sectors, in the ecosystems, you as a Motswana, you can open up a business because BITC has already quantified the need for those businesses in the sectors, right? And giving you some ideas that you can undertake and do. Right, okay. So before we go ahead, I'll just check my comments. Can I DM you, please? I need guidance on how to get started. Yes, you can DM me. You can send me a DM. You're allowed to do so. You're allowed to do so. Please share this live with as many people as possible as you can so that they can get involved in these kind of conversations that we are having here. And bear in mind, this platform, like I said, the innovative room. The innovative room is not a platform where I come as the expert. I'm not really an expert in this, but I'm just a curious person. I'm a person who takes time to read different things because, like I said in my recent post, is most of these opportunities are hidden in the news. They are hidden in documents like these. They are hidden in government policy documents. They are hidden in government policy documents. So we're going to have to come together as people. I have my own knowledge. There are people who you guys have your own knowledge. Some of you are even in some of these sectors and some of these businesses. So we can all come together and say, hey, this is what is happening in this sector, and these are the opportunities that are happening around this sector. So as Botswana, we can come together, or as Africans, we can come together, right? We can come together and we can set up businesses like this, and then we can all help each other think and we can help each other grow. So I've just provided this platform and I'll bring all these opportunities that I find from the different documents, from the news that I read. I bring them over to you, and then we have a discussion um, about those things. Mr. Seth said, "Can you please create a WhatsApp group so we can connect and grow together?" Yes, that is exactly what is in the what you call it in the books. So I don't know. I think I'll create it, then I'll drop. I don't know how I can share the link to the group with you guys. I'll create it and I'll drop it. When I create the innovative room, that is exactly the idea behind it. To create a community where all of you guys can come and we can all share these ideas, right? So yes, definitely. Just edit on the bio. Okay, I'll definitely do that. I'll edit on the bio and then you guys will join in through the link. Thanks for that, Mr. Seth. Yeah. So let's get into it. That is, I hope I tried to explain what the innovative room is what we're going to be doing. And this is the first document that we're going to be going through, which is cargo, freight, and logistics in Botswana. Yes. So, like I said, this is an investor fact sheet. So it is going to tell any investor why they are supposed to invest in Botswana, which is why in the first page you see they're going to give an overview of Botswana. To say Botswana is a country with it's the least corrupt country in Africa, according to the Transparency International. We are is the least corrupt country in Botswana. So, what does that mean for an investor? If a country has uh, low corruption, it means that it's less risk, and an investor can come and do business in the country. Best safety and rule of law in Africa. It's the second freest economy in Africa. Has competitive corporate tax rates and incentives, of which we have some. We have the organization SEZ, Special Economic Zones, that is responsible for setting up special economic zones where, uh, as we all know, economic zones are zones where there are tax incentives and other incentives that allow for easy creation of businesses and easy business activities. And that for an investor is good. It means that if there is low tax, it means that there is more a higher return on investment. And then the third easiest place to do business in SADC, which is true, it's easy to set up a business in this country. It's relatively easier compared to other countries. It's the third best governed country in Africa, meaning our politics are so stable. We have been praised over the years to have a stable political landscape. And so that means that Botswana is predictable, Botswana is safe for an investor to come into the country. It's the fifth most competitive economy in Africa, is the fourth highest human development in Africa. If you didn't know, Botswana has one of the most brilliant human resources this continent has ever had. Um, Botswana is one of the most brilliant human resources that Africa has ever had or has ever seen. Um, but the problem is, I'll talk about this later in another video as to why um, we have uh, a brilliant human resource, but we cannot see the real tangible results of that human resource. So the population of Botswana, 2.1 million. That's relatively a low population, and the size of Botswana, our capital, Gaborone, our business language is English. It means that it's acceptable for for almost any business to come in here because the business language is English. Our GDP per capita, that's our GDP per capita. I'm not going to go much into these numbers. And our corruption perception index is 31 out of 175 countries, which said it's one of the least corrupt countries in Africa. Right. So now we get they get into okay, Botswana's cargo and freight logistics industry right now. So for us to understand this, is we need to understand where Botswana is situated in Southern Africa, right? So a first person can say, but logistics, are we really a country that can really benefit from logistics? And my answer would be yes, indeed, we can benefit from logistics. Why? Because even though Botswana is a landlocked country, even though we are a landlocked country, we sit at what I would say or what I would call the center of Southern Africa. I mean, we are the hub that connects all the different countries in Southern Africa. If you want to deliver some things to South Africa, you and you are in Zimbabwe, you have to pass through Botswana. If you are in Angola and you want to deliver something via road to South Africa, you have to go through Botswana. from Namibia to South Africa, you have to go through Botswana. There's a route that goes to Botswana. If you want to take something from South Africa to Zambia or to Zimbabwe, you go through Botswana. So you can see that Botswana is at that central point. It is at an advantage geographically. It is at an advantage uh, geographically, right? So with this now, the government is trying to position Botswana as a logistics hub, right? Because Botswana is more like an intersection, like I said. The goods that move between South Africa, Namibia, Zimbabwe, Zambia, DRC, Mozambique, Angola. Botswana is close to these routes, and that on its own is an opportunity in logistics. But before we go deeper, uh, what exactly is logistics? Logistics. Logistics, when somebody thinks logistics, all they think is the big trucks, that deliver food, that deliver all those different things. But that is not really what logistics is. Logistics is more than that. Logistics, very simply put, is the movement of goods from where they are produced to where they are needed, or to the consumer or to the customer. So it means that even you, a younger driver going to collect goods for a person selling in the tuck shop, from the supermarket to the tuck shop, that on its own is logistics. Understand that logistics is movement of goods, whether it's small cars, or whether it's big trucks, or whether it's by sea, or whether it's by rail, or whether it's by air, right? So there are different types of logistics. There's sea logistics, there's inland, and then there's last mile logistics, right? Most people, when they think logistics, they think what they're thinking about is inland logistics, which is mainly the truck. It's trucks, your trucks that are delivering your food, that are delivering your fuel, and all those different things. But we tend to forget that there's also last. Am I audible? Am I back? I think my mic went off for a while there. All right. So I was talking about logistics, what logistics is, right? And so logistics usually, uh, like I said, these activity every activity has an economic. How can I put it? It has an ecosystem around it. So once logistics activities increase in a location, it affects other industries. It doesn't just affect logistics. It affects food, right? It affects hospitality. It affects different sectors, right? So as I'm talking about logistics in this document, don't just restrict your mind to, oh, logistics. The truck, it means that I need to open a truck business, or it means that I need to have a fleet of cars. No, think, hore, uh, if logistics activity increases in Botswana, more trucks are passing in Botswana, uh, there is more air freight in Botswana. What does that mean? It means that we need more. What do you call this? What do you call these things? It means that we need more storehouses. We need more warehouses. I mean to say, right? We need more warehouses. We need more storage units. You need to understand that we need more called what are they called? Storage units. Let me put it in that way. As trucks pass, as there's a lot of movement, it means that we need people who um, who maybe can do say who are into security, right? It's just I'll share most of those the ideas right now, but I'm just trying to um, prepare your mind so that when we're going through this document, you don't just think about no, it means I need to start a truck business. Even as if you're a person who is in tech, there's a business that you can start. There's an opportunity for you in this document or in this sector, right? If there's more trucks moving, it means that you need an app that is going to manage the movement on those trucks. So it's not just about logistics, it's about the ecosystem that logistics creates. I don't know if that makes sense. Right? It's about the ecosystem that logistics creates. So if you're a young person that maybe you don't have money, you don't have the financial capacity, right? Maybe to invest. Don't think about, okay, how do I own a logistics company? Right? If you have the means to do that, you can think in that direction. But if you don't have the means, now think beyond and say, what are the areas that logistics need or that logistics is going to affect that is going to create a gap for me to feel, right? Yeah, enough of that preface. So, like I said, centrally, Botswana is located in SADC. Is central located in SADC, and Botswana offers land-linked access to seven fast-growing markets. And it serves as the perfect location to leverage regional trade growth, with intra-regional transport volumes expected to more than double within the next 2 decades. Now, I want us to pay attention to that word, to more than double within the next 2 decades. It means that in the next 20 years, we're going to see a growth in what? In logistics. So it means that for you as a young person or as a person reading this, looking at this, you need to now think, okay, fine, how do I position myself for certain opportunity that's going to come into 20 years? Because most of the time, some of us, we are all we're thinking about when we think about opportunities. We want things that are going to feed us like now. We want to see tangible results today, which is valid and yeah, it's understandable. But then we tend to forget or we tend not to look much into the future to think what is going to happen tomorrow, what is going to happen in the next 10 years, and how do I start preparing for what is coming in the next 10, 20 years, right? So it means that logistics activity in Botswana is going to double, right? According to the World Economic Forum, Botswana is the best landlocked infrastructure in Africa and is the third best logistics operating environment in the region, right? It provides an alternative route to SADC's other highly congested corridors, such as the route from South Africa through Zimbabwe and further north to Zambia and the Democratic Republic of Congo. It is able to leverage favorable port, rail, and road infrastructure in neighboring South Africa and Namibia. Botswana has committed significant investment to develop new and revitalize existing transport corridors, making use of road, rail, airports, dry ports, road, rail, airports, dry ports, and one-stop border posts. So, what worthy of note is the 1.4 billion Kazungula Bridge. So these they are just telling you about all the different uh, areas that are involved in, or uh, just a background about Botswana's logistics industry, the overview of it. Right. Currently, Botswana's logistics consists of road, it consists of rail, consists of airports, and one other thing we need to pay attention is at the airport city. At the airport city, right? The airport city, what is being built there, like yes, the airport city that has been built, this airport special economic zone, is also to boost what we call air cargo. Air cargo is the transportation of goods through through flight or through air, right? At the moment, it's quite expensive to transport things via air. Um, but in the next few coming years, as the AFCFTA materializes, as I've talked about the AFCFTA in one of my videos, whereby Africa is trying to unlock a market, a 1.3 trillion, 1.3 billion uh, market, or a 3 trillion dollars market, where African countries can easily trade with each other, right? So it means that uh, air cargo is going to be one of the things that are going to be beneficial, or that are going to be crucial to ensuring that this policy comes comes to pass, or it materializes. So it means that in the next few coming years, we might see transporting your goods from, say, from here Africa to Nigeria being relatively cheaper. It means that um, you can easily sell to people in Nigeria, people in Ghana, whatever country that you think of in Africa easily. And also with the PAPSS system that they have rolled out, which is already active, by the way. These policies that we're talking about, they're not just policies that were written down; they are actually happening in other countries, especially in West Africa, and yeah, especially in West Africa. Um, in West Africa. And very soon we'll see these coming this side, because all 54 African countries are signatories of the AFCFTA. So it's been slowly rolled out. The infrastructure is being prepared to ensure that this thing is a reality. And logistics is going to be one of the most important sectors that are needed, or that are crucial to drive the materialization of the AFCFTA, which is why it is important that we understand the opportunities that come with this. So here, what do we call it? Here, BITC is basically comparing, showing you the quality of our infrastructure, our road infrastructure compared to other countries. Our road infrastructure is relatively good, on a good level compared to most countries, with Namibia and South Africa topping uh, that. Um, our railway infrastructure is relatively good too. I think Botswana here is the third best country, and the quality of our port infrastructure is actually also good. And that is why Botswana is one of the most crucial places, uh, or crucial locations for logistics activities. Please, if you have any questions or anything to add, like I said, I'm not the expert here. I'm just sharing my own analysis. I'm just sharing what I understand about this document, and I'm trying to explain it to the normal Botswana. What does this actually mean? Right? I'm just a curious person who reads a lot and who tries to understand the implications of these different opportunities to the normal person. So if you have some valuable information, I believe that some of you here have some valuable information to add on to what I've just said. Please, it will be a pleasure to have your input into the live. Just type your input into the comments. If you have any questions, type your questions into the comments. And like I said, share this with your friends so we can have more people uh, attending this. We can have more people being involved in these kind of conversations. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So now we get straight into the cream of what we are talking about: opportunities in the Botswana cargo, freight, and logistics sector, right? So now, as we have seen above, Botswana is a relatively limited market size that is 2.3 million. That is very small compared to most countries in Africa, right? It's not enough for us to look at it that way. Okay, Botswana is 2.3, 2.1 million people, but like I said, Botswana uh, is at the center, right? It's a how can what is the word that I'm looking for? I'm looking for a word. It's central located in SADC. That's the word I was looking for. It's at the center of SADC. So it means that it has easy access to the countries that surround it. And it has infrastructure, as we have seen here, that is able to enable access to the 270 million market. The 270 million market means uh, the people in Botswana as well as the people in SADC, because Botswana is at the center of SADC. You can easily access almost any nation in SADC from Botswana. That's why here they say 270 million consumers. So meaning that as a business, if you are in Botswana, you can you are at an advantage because you are at a point where you can easily sell to 270 million consumers your goods. You can sell them your goods uh, via send them your goods via say road or whatever it is. So Botswana's central location is at the catchment area of 100 million potential consumers within a 1,500-kilometer radius, and a regional market of 270 million consumers perfectly positions the country to capture regional consumer freight flows by offering bulk breaking, cargo consolidation, dry ports, and cargo warehousing facilities. Because of this is what an investor might think. An investor might say, since Botswana is at the center of SADC and it has access to basically almost every SADC country, it means that if I am in China and I want to supply the whole of SADC, I might have to build a warehouse in Botswana, because then transporting to what? Transporting to all the SADC countries is going to be cheaper for me than if I set up, say, in South Africa or if I set up in any other country. I don't know if that makes sense. So it means that we might have investors coming and say, or you can say, okay, fine, since there are people who may want to store their goods in Botswana for them to be distributed throughout Southern Africa. It means that if I have land, I can build a warehouse along these logistic routes, right? So your duty to what is to study the routes. Where do trucks normally pass? And then can we find land along those routes? If you already have that land, then you say, okay, now let me find the funding, or maybe I have the funding. I built those storage units. I built those warehouses where these logistics companies or the companies that are supplying goods across SADC can say we can store our goods where right there. We can store our goods in Botswana and distribute them to those countries. So this is exactly what it means when they say Botswana has access to 870 million uh, consumers, a market of 270 million consumers. That is how an investor would look at it. Basically, he would look at it and say, if Botswana has easy access to all other countries, then I can store my goods in Botswana and distribute them to those countries. So we're gonna need warehouses, we're gonna need storage units, right? We might even need freight forwarding services. So you as a Botswana, you can go look into those. Go and read. Then coal deposits. Botswana has 212 billion tons of coal deposits. The country expects to export between 72 million and 90 million tons per annum in 2024, substantially exceeding the current rail capacity of 4.2 million tons. To take advantage of this coal deposits, a number of opportunities exist. There is need for increasing the capacity of Botswana railways, of which the government is trying to do that, as we see a partnership in rail between Botswana and South Africa, transporting coal to South Africa, Namibia, and Mozambique for export, since South Africa, Namibia, and Mozambique have seaports. It means that uh, it means that transporting, if you want to say export to other continents, uh, those ports are crucial, are important. We have to transport to them. Transporting coal to the Morupule and Mamabula power stations, right? Then imagine east-west corridors. The Trans-Kalahari corridor from the Walvis Bay port to Johannesburg via Gaborone will provide an alternative to the highly congested Durban port. The corridor will enable Botswana to attract cargo away from traditional entry ports in South Africa, making Botswana the ideal transshipment and consolidation hub in SADC. In one of my popular or my first videos, when I was talking about these opportunities, I talked about the Walvis Bay, the project that Aliko Dangote, the Dangote Group, is setting up there, which is the fuel 1.6 um, million barrel fuel storage that is meant to supply uh, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Zambia. And I also quantified in that video that since this is going to be set up, it means that there's also going to be need for trucks. And um, Afreximbank is financing the purchasing of 550 fuel tankers to transport this fuel um, in Botswana, to transport this fuel in South, I mean, along the Trans-Kalahari corridor. I think in one of my videos, I even shared the routes. You have to go through. Did I leave you guys for a moment there? I think my network was acting up. Are we back? All right, all right. Thank you so much. Um, yes, as I was saying, uh, if you want to deliver from Namibia to say to Zimbabwe, you have to go through Botswana. So it means that we're going to see most that logistic activity, uh, an increase in logistic activity in Botswana, right? Yeah. So imagine east-west corridors, and here is talking about the corridor that, yeah, that transports from Namibia to South Africa. Uh, I'll create a video where I'll break down those routes so you can have a clear picture of what those routes look like. Adding to the north-south span, the Kazungula Bridge development will provide a road and rail bridge land link uh, between Botswana and Zambia, facilitating the export of bulk commodities from Katanga Province, DRC, and the transport of coal from Botswana to copper smelters and refineries in Zambia and DRC. Now, I want I want us to pay attention also to this. There is another game that Africa is currently playing right now. that I want us to pay attention to. I mean, before I continue, so that I don't skip that. There's another game that Africa is playing, right? What Africa is doing, as we all know, right? As we all know, for a very long time, even still now, this is what is happening right now. Africa has been exporting its raw materials. Africa has all the raw materials you can think of. We are the richest continent on earth when it comes to raw materials. But the problem is we have been exporting these raw materials at very cheap prices outside of the continent and then importing finished goods at higher prices and premiums. And so now most African leaders are trying to reverse that right now. That's the game most African leaders are doing, which is why we have the AFCFTA, which is why we have the PAPSS. I'll break these down in my future videos. I'm not going to talk much about them. I think I talked about the AFCFTA in one of my videos. You can check it out in my profile. Which is why countries like Burkina Faso, countries like Zimbabwe, countries like uh, Kenya, most African countries are banning exports on most of their commodities. Like Zimbabwe has just implemented a ban on the export of lithium. So now it means that lithium is going to be processed in-house, and those products are going to be used by the Zimbabweans and also exported out of the country. So if you pay attention, look at most African countries, including Botswana. That is the game that they are playing right now. It means that that creates more opportunities for what? For manufacturing industries, for processing industries. So every young person, you need to think in that direction, look into that direction. Okay, what is it that these countries produce? What is it that Botswana produces that I can take, that I can process, and um, potentially in the future export to other countries, because AFCFTA exists to empower export driven uh, companies where you take goods, you process them, you export them. If you are a farmer, you grow whatever it is you are growing in Botswana, you package it well, you export it. So that is why I was highlighting this. Botswana to copper smelters and refineries in Zambia is because now uh, African nations, African nations are finding ways in which they can keep the value system or the value ecosystem within Africa and not export it to what? And not export it to outside of Africa or to Europe or to Asia. Value must circulate within Africa. This is the game that is being played. And if it is successful, it means that in the next 2, 3, 4 years, we're going to see a lot of manufacturing industries rising up out of most African countries, including Botswana, processing industries, as we have seen with China, right? China is one of the countries that is very good in manufacturing, very good in processing. So Africa might reach a point where we are actually into manufacturing and into processing. So the other opportunity, Korea and express freight. Botswana's air infrastructure is International Civil Aviation Organization uh, ICAO compliant. It is less congested than OR Tambo International Airport and has offers a more competitive fee structure. So it's relatively cheaper. Botswana has the capacity to serve as a satellite hub complementing South Africa. Uh, Botswana has the capacity to serve as a satellite hub complementing South Africa and to service niche sectors and underserviced routes. Thus, to expand its air freight and air passenger volumes, Botswana's growing tourism market will be aligned to growing cargo and logistics capacity and opportunities within the country, which is also why Botswana is constructing the airport city. The airport city is one of the ways to 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 increase the country's capacity in air cargo, right? Like I said, if you have any comments, any additions to make to this, please do so. I can see my brother Africa Trade Bro has just joined. Thank you for joining, bro. You're welcome. Um, just to give you a preface into, or just to introduce him, Africa Trade Bro. You can follow him on here on TikTok. He talks more about African economics and the opportunities that are coming in Africa. So if you want to understand the current news, you can understand what is happening around economics in Africa, you can follow him on TikTok. Uh, yeah, just that. So I believe we are done with this. Uh, Now we can get into Botswana's value proposition in the cargo and freight and logistics industry, right? So, hold on. So now, since Botswana is a landlocked country, it means that we are going to be using a lot of dry ports, right? Our cargo will be processed inland rather than by at sea. And what are the benefits of dry ports? Dry ports being set up in Botswana means that, as I said, Botswana is at the center, geographically, at the center of SADC. It means that we need more dry ports here, because dry ports contribute to faster movement of goods. It means that there is storage of goods, there is distribution of goods from Botswana to SADC countries. And so, as we speak right now, we have the dry ports that we have right now, or that are being set up by Botswana. We have the Gapcon, which is the dry port uh, at Gaborone, which I believe it's going to be by the airport economic special economic zone, which here this is close proximity to Gaborone's air freight hub. So that is where the Gapcon dry port will be located. Gaborone, as we all know, is close in geographic location to South Africa, so it makes an ideal storage location for South African companies that are looking to store their goods in Botswana for distribution to other countries. And that dry port is proposed to be a one-stop shop offering service, of which the airport city that has been built, the airport special economic zone, that is what it aims to do. It's not just for air cargo, it is also to become a one-stop shop service offering, where you can find different services in one location. Then the FRAFCON is closer to Zimbabwe. It is closer to, yeah, to Zimbabwe, relatively closer to Kazungula. It's easily accessible to Kazungula, and yeah. So in the long term, connectivity directly to the Transkala Railway (TKR), creating a direct and functioning east-west link between Kazungula and Walvis Bay. So once this materializes, it means that we will now see goods being transported easily from Walvis Bay through Kazungula to uh, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and the DRC, right? As they say, focus on beneficiation of bulk commodities sourced from mining and other agricultural initiatives in the DRC, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. It will also provide ease of access to landlocked regional markets, as I've said, and consolidation and deconsolidation hub. Palcon, which is Palape dry port, Uh, since Palape has the coal mine Morupule, so this is where mining consolidation hub supporting mining activities in Botswana's coal fields. It is positioned as the sourcing hub for bulk mining commodities destined for ports at Durban, Maputo, Richards Bay, and the Walvis Bay. As we speak right now, uh, Palape is being transformed into, is being prepared to be uh, changed into a city. It has just been declared a town, if I'm not mistaken. It has just been declared a town, and the infrastructure is being prepared to convert it into a city because Palape is basically Palape is at the center of Botswana, if I may say so. Uh, if you want to go to Francistown from Gaborone, you have to pass through Palape. If you want to come from Zimbabwe to South Africa, you are going to pass through Palape. So Francistown, Palape, and Gaborone, these are the three locations in Botswana where logistics activity is going to be happening. So it means that if you're looking for maybe the next town to invest in, Palape is one of the best towns to invest in because business activities are growing there, and as we speak right now, it's relatively cheaper. Botswana I think Palape is relatively cheaper compared to Gaborone. So it is at a very strategic location. Uh, Also, the construction of its airport has already begun. So it is going to have an airport itself. So it means that I believe we all know what that means. It means that now um, Palape is a center. Is going to be one of the crucial locations for business activity in Botswana. So now let's get into the industry drivers of Botswana's cargo, freight, and logistics sector. Like I highlighted before, uh, as we are going through this document, I don't want you to just look at it and say, oh, we're talking about logistics. So it means that if there are opportunities in logistics, I must open a logistics company. No, think of it in a broader sense. W- What, how is the logistics activity going to affect the whole business ecosystem? Right? It's going to affect different sectors. So for you to look at the different sectors, what are the different sectors that are going to be affected because of the logistics activity that is going to be happening? Right? Because of the logistics activity that is going to be happening, what are the sectors that are going to be affected? What are the different problems that are going to be created because of this? What is going to be needed? Look into it and say, okay, this is what I can do, right? So industry drivers is manufacturing, mining, and mining services. Like I said, we are going to see more of mining activities increasing because Africa is trying to shift from exporting its commodities outside and processing them within Africa. So it means we're going to see more manufacturing industries being set up. We're going to see um, how can I put it? Yes, most manufacturing industries and processing industries being set up in Botswana, in Africa as well. So it means that, like I said, logistics is the movement of goods. After they are processed, they have to be moved efficiently to other locations where they are needed, right? So manufacturing and mining are going to be one of the drivers of uh, of logistics. Cold chain, which is agriculture, horticulture, healthcare, and pharmaceuticals. Cold chain is where now you have your warehouses where we have to store. We might also need storage units where we store agricultural produce uh, and pharmaceuticals, or yes, and pharmaceuticals or medicine, right? as medicine is being transported and is being moved between within Southern Africa. There is need for logistics, proper logistics infrastructure, and logistics companies for that. So, consumer goods, services sector, including tourism and business travel. As we also know that Botswana is one of the, how do I put it? Botswana is one of the prime tourism locations. People come to Botswana for tourism. It means that uh, people more, there's going to be need for more tour services, traveling services. This sector drives logistics. Consumer goods, which is your foods, that are of which as of now, majority of our consumer goods we get from South Africa, FMCG, and these are transported through trucks, right? So it means that uh, with these sectors, there's need for consolidation of those goods from these sectors, deconsolidation, distribution of the goods, transport services, handling services, warehouse management, and integrated systems. So now, as you can see, these now is talking about some of the ecosystems that it affects. So it means that you need to, if you're a person who is into supply chain management, uh, that this is where you are probably going to benefit. If you are into tech, you can create a technology that uh, facilitates or that integrates these logistics systems, right? As I've talked about the PAPSS, payment settlement system, the PAPSS settlement system, the payment system. There is need for fintech apps that are going to ensure that that system is seamless between countries, platforms that ensure that countries can pay each other easily. If I'm in Botswana, I can pay somebody in Kenya easily. I don't need to worry about a lot of things, right? So it means that tech people, uh, we need to look into that. Tech people can also look into logistics tracking and fleet management services. Uh, because as more companies will be set up, there's going to be need for a platform that is going to manage fleet, whereby an owner of a logistics company can be able to easily track their trucks just from the comfort of their home, right? Yes. So here's talking about key supporting institutions, which is the transport hub, which coordinates key projects, initiative, and policy interventions to encourage investment and entrepreneurship within the sector. Right. So as I talk about this, right, we need to understand that uh, this is an investor fact sheet, but as an entrepreneur or as a Motswana, ask yourself, as an entrepreneur, how can I fit into this ecosystem? I believe I've tried to break down and I've tried to share quite a lot of information above. And so these are the departments and units governing transport and logistics in Botswana. I'm not going to go over them. You can go over that document and familiarize yourself with that. So now the robust investment incentives, like I said, this one is mainly for investors. Uh, so far, do we have any questions, guys? I would love to hear your input on what we have already went over right now. Please share in the comments. Don't just watch and consume. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I'd really love to hear your thoughts on what you have in regards to logistics. Right. A shortage of trucks. Yes, there is a shortage of trucks, more especially for fuel. As like I indicated, there's a setting up of a fuel storage unit by Dangote Group at the Walvis Bay. So the African Bank is going to be purchasing new 550 tankers. There is a shortage of trucks in the sense that, like I said, logistics don't just think about it. When people think about logistics, they think about inland logistics. They forget that there's last mile logistics. Last mile logistics means after those trucks deliver the goods to the storage, you say the warehouses, there is need for trucks to deliver to take from those warehouses and take to the consumers. I don't know if that makes sense, Mr. Seth, right? There is need for last mile logistics. So there is a shortage of trucks, yes. And right now as we speak, oh, here's one other thing that I might have forgotten to mention. I wanted to create a video on that, but I didn't create a video of that. When it comes to fuel and oil transportation, Botswana Oil is trying to increase the number of trucks that are delivering oil. And uh, Botswana Oil has there's a concept called what we call local content policies, whereby a country uh, creates policies that benefits the citizens of the country. Basically, where they say for this sector or for this, only Botswana are allowed to set up businesses in that sector or in that area. For example, I'm just giving an example. Or for any sector, for any business, for any type of business, if you're an investor coming into Botswana, you must strictly have a Botswana or ownership of Botswana owning 40% of your company, even though you are coming from outside. Those are local content policies. So Botswana Oil has a local content policy, which is the COOC program, the Citizen Owned Oil Companies program, of which they provide incentives to citizens who are 100% citizen owned oil companies, right? So they provide you with incentives, they provide you with access to the petrol and diesel for you to buy it at a cheaper price and resell it to people. So you can then now get funding for trucks and uh, transport what you call it and transport oil to consumers. And usually for oil, you can target for now. You can target say villages that might not really have access to oil right now. Yeah, where can you get access to all that information? Go to the Botswana Oil website, Mr. Seth. Go to the Botswana Oil website and read about their program there. But then I don't think they. But then now there's a process that you have to take, right? To apply for all the licenses, apply for all the necessary things. So for that one, you can contact me, and I can help you with that. I can take you through that whole process, all the documents you need. But to be mindful of, I hope I answered you, sir, Mr. Seth. Yes. Um, you're welcome. I wanted to talk about this and to find my notes on that. Any other questions? Please, guys, shoot your questions, your contributions. We are, like I said, we are here to teach each other. We are here to teach each other, to engage, to learn from each other. There is something that I can definitely learn from you. And if you are part of this life and you haven't followed me yet, please uh, hit that like button, that follow button. Follow me so you can get more of this content. Is now the right time to build an asset light logistics business in Namibia? An asset light. It's my first time hearing uh, that term. What is an asset light logistics business? Kumutima. I hope I pronounced your name properly. Oh, yeah. I just looked up what an asset light logistics business is. In yes, it is actually the right time to set up that thing. For those who don't know what an asset light logistics business is, it's companies that avoid the heavy capital cost of owning trucks. So it means that you don't own trucks, warehouses, or ships, but you act more like as a freight broker. You use says you use proprietary technology to connect shippers with a vast network of carriers. So yes, definitely, definitely, there's going to be a need for that. There is going to be a need for that. There is going to be need for that. Basically, you are the middleman. You're the middleman. You guide the logistics companies on the best routes, the best, uh, yeah, the best routes, and you also help them to track their logistics. So yes, definitely. Any more questions? Any more additions? I'd like to hear your thoughts on what we just talked about. Um, before I close, I want to talk about the right. So now that I've talked about all those different opportunities and you have seen all the different opportunities in logistics, I, as we come to the end, I'm going to want to give you a giveaway, or more like action items. What is one thing that you can take now and go act on, as a Botswana, as a person attending this, people in Namibia and other countries? We have Namibia here, we have Nigeria, different countries that are attending this live. And the first thing is, the first action item is your mindset. Like I said, start thinking about, uh, don't think about logistics as just trucks. That is a rather a poor way to think about it. But then now, think about it in this way. If there's going to be more logistics activity happening, right? If there's going to be more trucks moving goods and services, if there's going to be more people moving goods and services through Botswana or through Southern Africa every day, who else is going to make the money besides those companies? And that is going to be, um, fuel stations, that is going to be vehicle servicing, that is going to be your tire shops, all the different things. I talked about security, I talked about packaging, I talked about warehousing, I talked about insurance. Insurance is one big thing. In fact, insurance is one of the reasons why, uh, fuel was expensive, or the global fuel prices went up. Insurance as well as logistics is one of the reasons why fuel prices went up. Right. Consumer just asked the question, my logistics business is registered but struggling to get clients. What is your advice? For something like that, Kutima, I think let's engage me via, DM, so we can talk more about that. We can understand more, and then I can give you advice that is best tailored to what you're going through and all that. I hope that's fine. If you want, I can give you my WhatsApp number, and you can contact me on my WhatsApp number. Then we can engage, uh, there. As I was saying, 2 months back. Oh, I guess probably I didn't save your. Please send me a message again. Okay, thank you. Please send me a message again. So, like I said, logistics is an ecosystem. It's not just trucks or cars moving. It affects different things. It affects accommodation. It affects cleaning services. It affects customs. It affects restaurants. It affects insurance, security, packaging, warehousing, manufacturing. Like I said, it affects all these different, uh, things. So as a person, if you can't own, or you don't want to own, maybe say trucks in the future, you need to look into saying, what are other areas, or what part of the logistics ecosystem can I plug myself into? If I'm a person who's into tech and who's into building apps, who can I build apps for in the logistics industry, right? Number two, what is the second takeaway that you can have from this? The second takeaway is learn a high demand skill. The skills that are going to be needed here is, like I said, supply chain management. People who have a robust knowledge in supply chain management, logistics management, in procurement, in warehouse operations, in fleet management, data analysis. Data analysis is a big one, guys. Is a big one. is a very big one. Data is a big industry. So if you're into data analysis, look into data. You not only apply your skills in logistics, you can apply it in various sectors, because when you're dealing with say people like investors need data. Business people need data for them to make informed decision. Is informed sorry informed decisions. GIS or mapping, customs and trade compliance. If you are into engineering, you might want to look at mechanical engineering. Say you set up a uh, when all the different infrastructure that are going to support logistics activities have been set up, we're going to need different people who or different engineering experts. So my mechanical engineering, civil engineering, mechatronics, industrial engineering, electrical engineering, all these different engineering fields might see them having jobs, or you can open a company, a consultancy. I don't know, whatever it is that uh, you may want to open. Um, then digital skills that you can learn, software development, like I said, GPS and fleet management systems. These are going to be very necessary. Automation, very necessary. Yes, project management, definitely, it's going to be necessary because, like I said, um, different projects are going to arise. Like, for example, as we speak right now, in Botswana, there is the construction of the airport city. That's a project on its own. So it means that there's a project manager who's managing the projects there. So it means that different infrastructure is going to be set up to ensure that there is easy movement of goods, uh, sorry, between African countries. So it means that more projects are coming. We need more project managers, definitely. Artificial intelligence, data analytics. Artificial intelligence and data, those are two big areas that you want to look into, and software development. SME funding SME funding companies. Can you explain that, Mr. D? Can you explain more of that? Cybersecurity and risk management, definitely, especially cybersecurity. Sorry about that. Especially cybersecurity. Let me tell you why cybersecurity is going to grow and why it's very crucial right now. As we are all aware now, uh, AI has entered. We have entered that era where people have access to AI and are building different apps. They're building different websites with AI, and that on its own is a security risk. It's a security risk. We have seen where these AI generated websites, especially those that have a login, they expose APIs, they expose the information of people. So it means that we need a cybersecurity expert. We need a cybersecurity expert who's going to help these people who are doing all this AI generated stuff, protect their apps, protect their what you call them, protect their websites and all that. So cybersecurity is, especially in this age of AI, is in growing need right now. Risk management, yes, definitely. Logistics has its own risks. So risk management is actually one area, one topic I'm really passionate about, because every single market, every single business, every single entity has risks related with them. And so we need experts who can be able to help businesses to manage risks. That is exactly why we have governance risks and legal um, companies set up to help companies manage risk. I hope I've answered you, Grano. Is cybersecurity the best option for a logistics business owner? It depends. It depends really. It depends because you want to think cybersecurity. If you're a logistics business owner, you want to think uh, cybersecurity in the sense that maybe you have a logistics tracking or fleet management app or system, right? Or you have a system that is online. Then yes, if you are using a lot of online systems in your company or systems that are on the computer, then yes, you might have to look into cybersecurity. Definitely. Uh, you're studying cybersecurity, and I was contemplating on changing course. Oh, can you explain why you were thinking of changing your course, Komutima? How can I contact you if I need further clarification regarding the logistics of transporting? Oh, well, you can just text me here on TikTok and I'll give you my WhatsApp number, Seb Kelly. Then we can engage further there. That says, I realize it's hard to access information or data around different sectors in the Botswana market. You see, that is actually a problem. So it needs somebody to look into it. It's a problem that you can actually go read about Mr. Seth and try and see how can we solve this problem, right? That's actually one of the problem. Yeah, right. Actually, with that, yeah, very right, 100% correct on that one. So it's a problem that you can go look into, read into. I'll also read into it and see how can we best uh yeah. Then Mr. D said like CEDA and LEA, those are SME funding institutes. Yes, this document that we just went through, Mr. D, is a what is called an investor fact sheet. This is a document that is meant for investors to quantify, to show you or why it's important as an investor to invest in the logistics. So it means that from this, I was talking about all the different companies that can be set up from this. So if you're an investor and you want to invest in any of the companies that are going to be set up due to these opportunities rising up, uh, that can definitely be uh, a good business. You can just go reading more into it, understand what do you need to set up that uh, what you need to set up that that kind of company. I agree that starting a company and bringing on foreign investment would be a smart play. Definitely, that's exactly what I was talking about. The long-term goal that Botswana is trying to that's what Botswana is trying to do, as opposed as compared to starting from scratch. Well, if it depends. You see, when an investor comes into your country and they want to partner with someone, they don't just partner with you and you say, "No, I have an idea and I have this." No, you have to show the investor that you have capacity to actually build that thing. So whether it is you have a business plan, a feasible business plan, and they can inject money into your business and you can You can do that, or you can start from somewhere, uh, have some operational capacity or something, be running, and when they come in, they see you're already running. You are well organized company or well organized person, then they can partner with you and run that business in your country. So yes, foreign investment is exactly what Botswana is trying to do right now. That's the play that is trying to happen, which is why they have released these documents that I'm breaking down in our live sessions. Looking to expand my logistics businesses to Southern Africa one day. Do you work with diaspora people? Do you work with diaspora people? Yeah, I'll be open to that. I'll be very much open to that. Very much open to that. You can contact me on TikTok and then we can, or I don't know, maybe I'll drop my WhatsApp number for you guys to contact me right here. I think, I hope that's okay with you guys. Then we can engage further and discuss further on that. Kumutima says, since I want to start trading, I feel it's taking too much of my time and doesn't cover much on logistics. Like I said, Kumutima, it's really about your priorities and where where it is you want to lie, where it is that you want to specifically focus on, right? Uh, if you really want to start trading, start like doing on ground work, logistics on ground work, it doesn't necessarily need logistics right now. I mean, cyber security right now, because as we speak right now, we don't yet have those platforms, online platforms or platforms that facilitate uh, logistics, logistics management uh, applications or platforms. So perhaps maybe if you want to get into the business of logistics, I don't know. Maybe you can leave the experts, people who really are passionate or want to do cybersecurity, to continue doing cybersecurity, and then they'll offer you that service, and then you focus on building your company. I don't know, but the ball it lies entirely in your court. If you believe that, because like I said, there's opportunities in cybersecurity. Like cybersecurity is really broad, right? So maybe you having knowledge in cybersecurity and knowing the logistics industry, you'd be at a much you'll be in a much better location or better spot to say, I can set up a cybersecurity service for logistics companies. Since you understand their needs, you understand their problems, the problems that they have, you can use your cybersecurity, um, what you call knowledge, combine it and help them solve those problems. I don't know if that makes sense because for me, uh, okay. So yeah, please do think about it because yeah, sometimes we do look at some of our, how can I put it? Sometimes we look at some of the things that we do and we think they are disadvantages, but it's also really about our priorities. Honestly, I have to be honest with you. It's really about priorities. What are you prioritizing at that moment? Like for me, I studied mechatronics engineering. I studied mechatronics engineering. I'm also into graphic design and branding, as well as entrepreneurship. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time now. So at a point, I viewed mechatronics as more kind of like, why am I doing mechatronics? This is mechatronics, no, useless. But then I said, no, what about I combine my knowledge in mechatronics or in engineering, uh, the technical knowledge that I got from the automation and all these different things, and see how I can apply it into entrepreneurship, see how I can I merge it with graphic design or with design and with branding, right? So yeah. Any more questions? And your thoughts and insights on what what I've shared so far, what I've talked about. So the our key takeaways. Yes, I say like I said, I'm creating that WhatsApp group. The name that you are seeing on the screen right now, the Innovative Room, is going to be the name of that WhatsApp group, and I will share the link on my bio for you to join. I believe you should be able to click it, but okay, fine. Let me do this. Let me create that group right now because it's something that I wanted to create. Uh, Let me create it right now. Then let me share the link with you right here. Then I'll share the. Then I'll update it as time goes on. So far we talked about the key takeaways that we talked about is your mindset, change your mindset, understand that when we are talking about logistics, we are not only focused on are not only focused on logistics. Don't just think trucks, or don't just think, only the companies. Also think about um, the business or the business ecosystem around uh, logistics. Around logistics. Then I talked about learn a high demand skill, learn a skill that is going to ensure that you benefit from all these different uh, opportunities. And then, okay, I think my mic went off. I'm going to mute for a moment.
Am I audible? Okay. I hope there are no sound because now my mic went off. I'm using my PC microphone. But let's now close off the live now. It's been a while since we've been on the live. Takeaway number three is look for problems, not just opportunities. One of my mentor, my mentor, my mentor is called Coach David Grace, by the way. Taught me that opportunities are hidden in problems. Money is hidden in problems. If you want to make money, just simply find a problem that you can solve for someone. That is where money is. Money is simply the reward you get for giving somebody value. You're giving somebody value, you're solving somebody's problem, and in exchange for you solving that person's problem, that person gives you the money. Now, the amount of money the person gives you is dependent on how much valuable your solution is to that person. If that person perceives your solution as very valuable, then they're going to be willing to part with more money and give you more money. Hence why people who make the difference between people who make more money and less money are people who understand this. They understand the more value I give, the more money I make. Right? And value, me adding value means solving my customer's problem, because a customer is interested in you solving their problem. They are not interested in any other thing. You can come to them and say, oh, I have an iPhone 11, it has this iPhone 11, when you are playing music or when you are using the microphone, it has lower latency. They don't care about that. All they care is, okay, fine, how does that microphone solve that my problem? Right? So look for problems, because when you are going all through all these opportunities, the first question that you are thinking is, okay, what business can I start? No, don't think about what business can I start. Think about what problems that exist within logistics can I solve and can I get paid for? Right? For example, logistics companies may need vehicle maintenance. Warehouses that store these goods may need security. Even trucks themselves, as more especially those that transport fuel and that maybe transport what do they call it, heavy loads, they need security. Goods need packaging. Businesses need accountants or accounting. Right? More setting up of more apps or more online platforms means that we need more cybersecurity experts. Companies are going to need branding, are going to need marketing for them to be competent in the African or in the global market. Logistics or freight companies need websites and they need softwares. You see, so you're finding a problem. What problem do these people in the logistics sector have that I can apply my own expertise to and solve that problem? So that's one way that you should look at it. That's takeaway number three. So that's one thing that you're going to look into. What is the problem that I can solve for people in the logistics company? As more logistics activities coming to Botswana, what are the problems that these people have that I can solve for them and get money in exchange for that? Takeaway number four: start small. Start small. In this landscape, especially now with AI with AI number one, with social media number two, you do not need a lot of funds, more especially for most businesses. Yes, there are other businesses and other sectors that need money, more especially maybe if you're getting into logistics and you want to buy trucks and all that, you need money, yes. But uh, there are some businesses that can be set up. You don't need that much amount of money. Like for example, you as if you're a student, you may maybe create an app. If you know how to create softwares, you don't necessarily need a lot of money in this day and age to create an app. You can offer digital marketing to logistics companies. You don't need to buy anything. You just need a laptop or a phone to offer digital marketing services. You can build software. You can start a asset light uh, asset light logistic company like somebody just mentioned in the live, or Mutuma just mentioned in the live, right? So you need to, whatever problem that you find that you want to solve, the first question that you ask, how can I start small, right? Takeaway number five is start following and reading about government projects. You don't really necessarily have to wait till they are completed or they have begun. You need to look into what are your governments planning when it comes to new roads, rail developments, dry ports, special economic zones, and industrial parks, and then see where the demand is going, how it's growing, and where can you plug into that. And then number six, which is one of the most important, build relationships. If you're interested in logistics, you have to attend industry events on logistics, interact with people in logistics, connect with transport companies, talk to freight companies, auto freight forwarders, visit physically dry ports, and visit anyone whom you know it can be beneficial in helping you setting up whatever it is that you want to set up in logistics. Learn from people who are already in the logistics. If you have a relative who's already in logistics, go to them, ask them questions, learn from them. They have valuable knowledge about that industry, right? And then takeaway number seven, which is also one of the most crucial one, it is continue learning, continue educating yourself, which is why I created the innovative room. The innovative room exists where we can all come together, we can all learn about all these different opportunities that are coming to Africa, that are coming to Southern Africa, that are coming to Botswana. We can come and educate each other, right? Let me try and find. I promise to share the link, right? I'm dropping. I have. What? All right, I dropped the link to I dropped the link to the community on WhatsApp. Please click on it and join the community there, and we can continue engaging there, sharing knowledge, sharing ideas, so that we can all benefit from that. All right. To the bio. I don't know if my bio will allow me to. Let me see. My bio cut. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I edited it. I don't know. This is why I can't, Mr. Asad, I can't edit to the bio. It's because I don't yet have the feature of adding links to my bio, so it won't be clickable on the bio. I don't know how that's going to. You copied it from the bio. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. So, as we come to the end, as I've given you those 7 action areas I talked about, all the different opportunities, I talked about changing your mindset, understanding that the opportunity is not just in logistics itself, but it's in the ecosystem. Research about the ecosystem. What does logistics usually affect in an area? What does more logistics mean for a geographic location, right? Number 2, learn a skill that is aligned with opportunities in the sector, the logistics sector. Number 3, look for problems, not opportunities. Opportunities are located in problems. Number 4, start lean or start small. Number 5, follow government projects in Southern Africa. I'll also try as much as possible to educate or to bring to light the different projects, which is also why the community is important. Number 6, build those key relationships, which is why also the community is important, for you to meet people who are already in these sectors and who are willing to share their knowledge and educate you. Number 7, continue learning. The innovative room exists for that. So this week, I want you to go to identify one business idea that supports the logistics industry. Don't think about owning a trucking company, like I said. think about solving one problem in the logistics value chain. As an entrepreneur, whatever skills that you possess, your skill is valuable. Your skill is very valuable, and it's needed and it's necessary. You just need to know how can I apply my skill of cooking, for example, to logistics. How can I apply my skill of sorry, software development to logistics? How can I apply my skill of risk management to logistics? What problem uh, do the logistics people have that I can solve? How painful is the problem to these people? And can I be able to communicate this problem to them, and can I be able to show them my solution and how it can help them? That is where you should be thinking, what you should be focusing on, right? And understand that the government can create all these incentives, the special economic zones can exist, all these different things exist, but what is needed is you as an entrepreneur taking action. What is needed is you as an entrepreneur taking action. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the live session. It was an awesome and amazing time interacting with you. I definitely learned something from you. I hope you learned something from me. I don't know if you have any final words to say in the comments before we close. Any questions before we close? Any questions before we close? Thank you, G, for the comment. Thank you so much. Any questions? Any comments? Like I said, I want us to interact, to engage with each other here. Any questions we have? Any comments we have? Oh, I believe you are very much welcome. You're very much welcome. I shared the link in the comments. If you just joined now, I shared the link in the comments to the Innovative Room, the community on WhatsApp, where we can engage and learn more about these opportunities. I've shared that comment. I'll share it again right here. You can just copy it and go join the group so we can engage there. We can talk more and share more information. All right, if there are no more questions, please join the group. Share that link with anyone whom you believe is going to need this. We want to create enough dialogue. We want to talk about opportunities. Enough of young people, especially in my country in Botswana. It's painful whenever I see my peers complaining a lot, bashing people on social media, all they do the whole day is complain. The government is not doing this, the government is not doing this. Yet, there are people who are identifying opportunities and they are making moves on those opportunities. And that's exactly why I started sharing on this platform, is exactly why I started creating this platform, so that uh, people can come to know of the different opportunities that are coming to Botswana and start positioning themselves and start building now. Because I had one entrepreneur, I said, no matter how bad an economy is, there are always opportunities. So I really got tired of seeing, people complaining online, complaining. All you see, people are complaining. People are complaining, continuously complaining. Yet there are many opportunities that they can position themselves for, that are hidden in different documents, in the news, and in the projects that themselves they don't even want to read. So this is exactly why this, exactly, G, where there is a problem there is money. Where there is a problem there is money. Every single time there are problems, but there is always money where there are problems. So this platform, the Innovative room, exists to create dialogue around this and show young people that it's actually possible to make money. It's actually possible to build at a time as this, right? So yeah, please share that link with as many people as you can. Young people out there who you want to see them, winning, whom you believe they can benefit from the different opportunities from here. Please share. Thank you for the productive meeting. I appreciate your time and valuable insights. You are very much welcome, Seb Kelly. You're welcome. I believe you had said you want to engage with me. Please do so. You can join the community. You can engage me from there, or you can text me right here on TikTok. I'm open to a chat or a dialogue. I'm open to a chat or a dialogue. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, don't forget to share. Let's get this community running. And yeah, stay tuned for more live sessions like this. I'll be hosting more of these live sessions. Today I was breaking down one of BITC's documents. This is just one of many other documents they have published. So in the next live, we're going to get into the next document, which talks about other sectors. Is there a recording with Kim Lead? Yeah, I think this live is being recorded on. It should be there on TikTok, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to save it and share it, but I'll find a way. Usually TikTok records live sessions and I can have access to them. So if I'll be able to download it, I'll download it and share it, or maybe I'll clip it. Yes. So yeah, I'll try my best to help you, G. I'll try my best to help. I believe you have my number. Again, please, if I ever forget, that is if I ever forget, but I don't think I'll forget, because I'll need to have access to the live recordings. I need to clip those recordings and post some snippets of them on my TikTok so that more people can see all this, can get to know of the conversations we're having right here. All right, so that's that, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to the end. If we do not have any more questions, cheers. I'll see you in the next live meeting. I will tell you when it will be scheduled. I will inform when it will be scheduled. Definitely, I will inform you on the community. I will inform you when it is going to be scheduled so we can talk about the next document. I don't know if we should talk about ICT. What should we go on to next? There's ICT, there is leather and leather goods, there's automotive, there is soda ash production, there is agriculture, there is what else? You guys can tell me what you want next. There's agriculture. There is let me check the full list. Oh my god. Sorry. Yeah, we have financial and business services, automotive, we have ICT, we have agriculture, we have manufacturing, then we have mining and mineral beneficiation. So you guys can tell me which sector you're more interested into. Then we can break it down in our next live session. We can break it down in our next live session. But yeah, we will engage in the community. Those who just joined in, join the community. The link, there's the link before I just end the live. I'm ending the live in about 1 minute or 60 seconds. If you want to reach out to me, you can always reach out to me here on TikTok, also on the community. Okay. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's engage in the community and stay tuned for the next live session, and also stay tuned for the snippets from this live. I don't know if I'll find time to clip this live because it's 2 hours 6 minutes. That's a lot of time, but I'll try my best to get out valuable snippets and also to share the recording. With that, thank you. I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to join the Innovative Room. Cheers.